the Bahmani rulers realized that their constant fighting amongst each other was proving to be beneficial to the Vijayanagara Empire. They realized other thing also, that on their own they could not defeat the Vijayanagara Empire. On their own, either none of them could defeat the Vijayanagara Empire. So they decided to form the alliances. And that led to the downfall. So here what he did was, Adil Shah, the Bijapur ruler, he negotiated with Qutub Shah, the Golconda, Ibrahim Qutub Shah, ruler of Golconda. Okay, so what Qutub Shah he did was, he negotiated with Adil Shah and his rival, Hussein Shah. Mind you, Hussein Shah and Adil Shah were bitter rivals, but they still agreed to ally together for a common purpose, that was against Vijayanagar. So the three main kingdoms, Bijapur, Golconda, Ahmednagar, the three main kingdoms came together and they formed a common front to defeat the Vijayanagar Empire. And of course, again, they took the help of Bidar and Berar. So it was a 5-kingdom alliance against Vijayanagar. The first time ever, the 5 kingdoms came together. And they met at a place called Talikota. Which is currently in the Bijapur district. So here again, the second thing, Bahmani rulers were busy. They were planning their strategies, sending spies and all that. Vijayanagar rulers the Aliya Ram Raya took it for granted. They were just relaxing. I mean, they felt that these people attacked us so many times. What can they do to us? So they took it for granted that nothing is going to happen. They were pretty indifferent. And I mean, they took the so yeah, like Ramaraya, what he did was, though he got reports that the enemy movements were coming towards Vijayanagar, he just dismissed them. He's saying that nothing is going to happen. They attacked us so many times. What will they do? And that was going to be a disaster. But I mean, nevertheless he put his brother Tirubala in control of the Krishna River to ensure the Bahmanis were blocked. What the Bahmani rivers did was, they saw that the Vijayanagar army was blocking the Krishna River at one point. So they deliberately tricked them to believe that they were attacking from some other point. So the Vijayanagar army fell for the trick. They went to that particular point where they thought the Bahmanis would attack. And what these Bahmani rulers did was, they crossed that particular point. And then, January 23rd, 1565, the Battle of the Talikota, the battle that brought an end to the Vijayanagar Empire. I mean, so on one side you had the Vijayanagar forces, on the other side you had these 5 the Bahmani forces, which consist of Bijapur, Ahmednagar, Golconda, and Bidar and Berar. And the forces had 3 layers of artillery. I mean, they were pretty much equipped with artillery. So initially, for some time, the Vijayanagar forces initially were under heavy fire. But after some time, what happened was, Venkatadri Raya, the brother of Aliya Ram Raya, he again attacked the Bahmani forces heavily. And Ramaraya, in spite, he was pretty much old, he was almost in his 70s. In spite of that, he still fought bravely against the Bahmani rulers. Unfortunately, at this time, this is why I told that getting the Muslim archers into the army was going to be a disaster. It happened here. The couple of contingent of Muslim officers, they switched sides. Just at the crucial point in the battle, they switched sides. That's why I told you before. Getting Muslim archers in the army was good in the short run, but in the long run, it was going to be a disaster. And it was proved to here. So what happened was, the entire contingent of Muslim forces, they switched sides with the Bahmani forces. 5,000 members of the Vijayanagar army were surrounded and killed. And it goes over. And Ramaraya himself was struck by a cannon shot. I mean, the elephant was struck, he fell down and was taken as prisoner. So a very tragic ending. He was taken to Nizam Shah. So he was given a choice of either converting to Islam or not. Ramaraya refused to convert and he was beheaded. The man who beheaded him was Ibrahim Quli Qutub Shah. Again, another irony here. Quli Qutub Shah had a bitter succession battle with his brother. So he escaped from Golconda, and when he came, he took refuge in Vijayanagar. And the person who gave refuge to him was Ramaraya himself. But when it came to the final reckoning, he was the one who beheaded. I mean, a very bitter and tragic irony, if ever there was one. And with the death of Ramaraya, the Vijayanagar forces became demoralized. They retreated from the battlefield and soon it became a total rout. Soon it became a total rout. So it was apparent that Hampi would be falling. So what Tirumalaraya did was he took the royal treasure around 1500 elephants. He carried that to a place called Penukonda. It's in Anantapur district, the second capital. And most of the soldiers, chieftains, they abandoned Hampi. But even then also, people felt that nothing would be happening to Hampi. So out after 3 days, the date on which the Bahmani forces entered Vijayanagar, just see the irony of it all. January 26th. And after 3 days they entered it, and soon the destruction started. One of the greatest empires in the world. Temples, the buildings were broken, its treasures were looted, people were captured. Prisoners were taken. There was en masse massacre. For 3 days, for almost 3 to 4 days, entire Hampi was ransacked, burned, looted, pillaged, and after that it never rose again. So one of the greatest empires in the world, one of the greatest empires and civilizations in the world came to an end in such a brutal and tragic